Greetings, this is Brian. Welcome to another demo. So in today's demo, we're going to cover PowerApps, which I know we've done before, but previously in some of the other ones, we focused primarily on PowerApps could be used as a CRM application. For example, when we use the bike wholesaler and the account management with promotions demos, those were PowerApps. In this demo, we're going to cover more of a when it's used as a specific business process or purpose. And so in this case, what we're going to do here is very simplified, very lean and mean PowerApps demo. We've got the accounts and contact tables. And then we have a custom table here, which is project tracker, which is going to contain our orders. The demo here is the assumption that we have produced or custom manufactured products or orders that come in and have to be built. We've worked with a number of different groups to kind of manage that process. Whenever you have that, there's more to it than I'm going to open up one here and kind of go over some details. But whenever you have that situation, as you can imagine, there's more than just taking the order and it's sitting in the back and shipping it. When you have customized situations, and in this particular case, we've worked with a number of companies that do this. This particular demo, we had a company that fabricated some things, and they actually had a small group of engineers that did a SolidWorks application that created drawings, and it was very detailed and a little time consuming for them to produce their product. So, we can have varying degrees and complexities here, but we're going to go through and show you how we could kind of manage that process using PowerApps if we wanted to. So this is an order. So this is, if you notice here, we've got the name of the order, which is also assigned a project ID. These are system generated. So we go in there, and when we create these orders, they automatically are created by the system. The quote ID, the assumption here is that we work with a customer and we give them a quote and they sign off for it, and that initiates the order. Product description, this could be anything. In this case, we use custom widget and some model designations just to kind of for our sample fictitious company here. The project status, we're going to have multiple statuses. Let's go back here. I'll look at the dashboard here. I'll show you some of the different ones we have here. So the open is the default, and that's when it goes into the system. Then after that, we have to get the drawings approved using my company that I knew that had engineers that would do a drawing. You have the customer sign off on it, the internal people sign off of it. Once you got that approved, it hit this stage. Then we would go to another stage to get it into production. You got to have a bill of materials built. That's would end up in this stage. And then once it's in production, it completes, then it gets shipped or delivered. And then after that, they get paid, and then it gets completed. So that's my scenario here. And if you'll notice here, let's jump back into this hang screen modeling here for PT1014. And if you notice the project status, as we work through this, the system assigns it based on the actions or activities that happen. And that's really the best way to do it. I don't want to have people just to go in there and say, oh, this is now in production, and put it into production without having the necessary criteria completed prior to that. When we create what I've done here is for this particular scenario is when we create the actual order or the project, then the system automatically generates and creates these different tasks that need to be completed. And so let's go in there, and let's say in this one, I'll put let's put it on the system. And so what I want to do is I want to move it to the next stage. So I'll go back here and we'll just revisit that real quick. So we've got everything into the system for this. We'll put it in. We've got an estimated ship date in there. We have some of the basic information. We could put some notes over here if we needed to put some appointments and things of that nature, or just a general note on the system if we wanted to. But in this case, what we want to do is, let's say that we have worked with the engineers. They've got their drawing completed. I've got the customer signed off on it, and everybody's in concert as far as what we need out of the system or out of the order. And so I'm going to go in here and I'm going to save and then mark it as complete. And then I'm going to hit a quick refresh on my screen and let that workflow run in the background. And now this particular order is no longer open order. It's actually the drawings are approved. And so when we look at our, I'm going to show you the dashboard here where it breaks everything out. It's no longer sitting in this group. It has now been moved over to this group because it's going to be something that now we're got the drawings are done. Now the person responsible for taking it to the next step. This is just our standard view here where I can see everything and we've got the status not grouped. And let's go back in here and let's go move it along a little further. So let's say the next step, of course, is to go in and got a bill of materials. In this case, let's say we have the bill of materials. We have to order those bill of materials, whatever the criteria is to get this thing in your, for this sample situation. Let's say they've completed all the steps, so let's mark that one. So now we're moving this thing along, and so now that has been. I'm going to do a refresh here on the screen. That one has completed that next step, and now we're in production. We've got everything ordered, moving along. What happens here is if we need to add anything in here, we can. We need to put any notes, phone calls. We can add notes. So if somebody in the production team, they can input information in here. And so if we're collaborating, somebody needs to track this information, or if you have one person working on the project in the morning and they need to leave some notes or some drawings or some changes, things of that nature, we can put it into the system and it can track it as it goes through. So let's save and close that. And let's go back to the dashboard. If you've noticed too that the this dashboard is kind of nice. We've got where we group it so that if I'm if I just want to look at all the projects, I can do that, and then I can come up here and I can sort them, and I can look at them like that, and I can sort them by name. I can sort them by whatever methodology that I'd like to, estimated ship date. So we can do some different things with it there, but we also have this one here where I've grouped them. So if we have somebody that's an operational person and they're going to look over this day to day to see, oh wow, is there a particular, or if you're the salesperson, we want to follow our projects. If we see something that's in production too long, we can go in here and maybe we can go look at the notes and see what's going on. Maybe something, one of the parts got back ordered, or we had some type of issue. We can put it in here and then we can contact the customer. Additionally, this particular product works well. If you saw my last video with the Power Pages, we could build a portal and then have the customers could also get access to some information that we choose to have them see. Let's go on to a couple more. Let's move another one through, see how that looks. So let's go grab Fabricom's order. And in this particular case, we've got estimated ship date. So it's been in production, and so let's say in this case we want to go ahead and say the customer, we got it done early, they came in and they either shipped it or they came in and they picked it up, and so we're going to save that. And if we give it a minute here, we can also just kind of bounce here between the different ones to give the system. That's a workflow that everything runs in the background. And so that 103, now if you see here, it is listed as a shipped and delivered. So now we've moved on to the next stage. Then the accounting department, they could come in if they paid in full when they picked their order up. We can put a invoice number on there that we gave them. We could say that they picked it up, they paid for it today. We're going to save that. And then in this particular case, what we have is for example, like the accounting system. Accounting people could come in there and they get to control this last step. and they got to say, okay, we'll put the date paid, we've got all the invoice and everything's done. So let's mark that as complete, and that becomes the last step. And so we can see here that I'll just show all the activities really quick here. You can see how everything is completed and closed on this particular one. And then if we go back, let's go back. It's going to drop off of this because now it is completed. We've been paid and everything's all done. Right there it is. There. So you can see here it's kind of nice. We've got a really basic system, model-driven app built on the Dataverse. This thing can go in pretty quickly. We can be a standalone product that is just a PowerApps. It could also be a situation where, like in this case, I did use the account data and the context data off of my sandbox just to expedite things, so we can pull in tables from a Dynamics 365 environment if we want to. But basically, I just wanted to show a specific business process, and it allows for collaboration within a company to manage the process. We also have the option of Power Pages where we can share the information with customers. And so hope you enjoyed the video, and please leave any comments or questions in the comments and have a good day.